Welcome back. Howdy, partners. Welcome to an edition of the Wild West Crypto Show on today's Wicked Wednesday edition of Liquid Lunch. You know, I'm so happy when I get to put my cowboy hat on. And I usually put my cowboy hat on when my buddy, my favorite cowboy, the crypto cowboy himself, joins us here in New York. Drew Taylor, thank you, buddy. Thank you so much for being here.
My friend, man? Good to be here again.
I got to sport the lid. Drew actually bought me this lid. Thank you, my friend.
You bet, man.
And, you know, there's so much going on in the news in China and Asia, all this other stuff. I made some proclamations a little right towards the end of the year that with China loosening up their monetary policies, there's going to be more of their money in people's hands, and they want to get it the heck out of China. I thought one place that might start happening come the new year was in Bitcoin. And when I see what's happening lately, it looks like Bitcoin has got a new lease on life coming into 2020.
It is. I mean, you hit the nail on the head, and it isn't only the Chinese folks. I mean, you know, you got your 10-gallon hat on, right?
That's right.
So you know, it's time to fill that 10-gallon hat up. What we're telling people is we now have 2020 vision because we're in 2020. And you look back at the history, we've got Martin Weiss. I know y'all have had him on your show,
That's
pontificator on cryptocurrencies and all that. And let me tell you something, all the trends are up. Hash rates are up. Bakkt is seeing more activity than it's ever seen across the board. Market looks good for them, man.
So for those of you guys, and we try to be the only show on television that talks about Bitcoin or cryptocurrency every day, increase awareness, educate yourself a little bit. Do not go out and buy Bitcoin because me and Drew are talking about it. We're not financial advisors. You may want to think about putting a little bit of cryptocurrency in your portfolio. Put it away, go into it expecting to lose every single penny, and you'll have low expectations. But do not make any financial decisions based on two men wearing cowboy hats having a drink. That's a no-no right there. But Frankie's been he keeps me straight on crypto because he's a novice, he doesn't understand it, and we try to every time get him a layer up on education, and I think that kind of represents most of our audience who are just learning about this
Drew,
stuff.
it's good to see you again. Welcome back.
You as well, man.
Now, the two of you are quite the crypto authorities. Even your detractors will admit that. Even the detractors of crypto will admit that. Now, North Korea is having this big cryptocurrency conference, and a whole bunch of UN experts are saying, stay away from that. Don't go anywhere near that. This is just an attempt to evade sanctions. Are we going to see the two of you bring your cowboy hats to North Korea anytime soon?
To be honest with you, when last invite I got, I sent Dennis Rodman. You know, so I don't think you're going to see this cowboy in North Korea.
Well, you know what? Right after this, we have retired Navy SEAL Jocko Willink joining us, and if he's willing to accompany me, I may just take my 10-gallon over there to North Korea. Otherwise, no good. Drew, there are a lot of emerging opportunities that our folks at home, they're looking for passive income. A lot of our audience, they're baby boomers. They're sitting back. They're getting their Social Security check. They got their 401k, their IRA. But there do seem to be emerging opportunities for a little sliver of your portfolio to be in the main cryptocurrencies. And I think the mains are the top 5. I think Bitcoin's number 1, and then all the rest are way behind them. Where do you see opportunities there?
Let me tell you, and I'm exactly with you, John. If you look at the turn of the 1900s, there was over 2,000 automobile manufacturers in the U.S. Hard to imagine. Through consolidation, attrition, and everything else, it trickled down to there was half a dozen of them going into World War II. Then there was the big 3 till Tesla came along. So there's over 6,500 cryptocurrencies, and I can tell you, other than I wouldn't do all of them, but you're exactly right. And even Martin Weiss in his report, and we'll be having him on our show here in another 4 weeks, he went and said if 2% of a person's portfolio in 2018, 2% of their portfolio was in cryptocurrencies, it would have been 12% of their gain in their portfolio.
So there's been, there's certainly been a run-up. There was a bubble. There was a burst that hit 20,000, but there was a 6X in there. But that's when the thing was completely unknown. I put out a weekly newsletter, the Monday Morning Quarterback, try to give a little cheat sheet, a little crib notes to people who want to know what I'm thinking about in the markets. And I've been saying for the last few weeks that all these other altcoins that just emerged out of nowhere, they're all down 80 to 90% from the apex when Bitcoin was at 20,000. I'd personally stay away from every single one of them I mean, me personally, I've documented it often. I don't ask people to invest with me. I'm not an advisor, but when I buy Bitcoin, I tell people what I'm doing. And at 8,000, I thought there was a buying opportunity, and I'd rather stay in mostly Bitcoin than spread myself out with all these other ones, because you don't know which one's going to hit.
No, I think you're exactly right. And the other thing is, John, and you and I have talked about this, and the other area that you can get into this and take advantage of is in the mining side. And
right.
I personally have mining contracts through a company called Kuvera. It's a publicly traded company.
Hey, you know that. Full disclosure, I'm the Chief Digital Officer of InvestView. I am a shareholder in InvestView. And InvestView is the parent company of Kuvera.
I invested in Kuvera 2.5 years ago. Had nothing to do with you long before I knew you.
All right. Well, but you made a good investment, my friend.
Yes, I did. But what I'm telling folks is that allows you to accumulate cryptocurrencies, okay, and get a return on those from the mining side of this thing. So, you know, I tell folks, you do want to break up your portfolio. I would stay in the top 5 or 10, like you said. Mining is also a good option where you can buy these contracts, but cryptocurrencies are the future.
You have to send me an email to get my free newsletter. My free newsletter is the Monday Morning Quarterback. It comes out once a week on Monday mornings, and it's free, completely free. No scams, no bait and switch, none of that stuff. I don't need your credit card or anything. You email me, jt@liquidlunchtv.com. I want to know your name, even your first name, what state you live in, and say, can I get the newsletter? And you're in. No questions asked. And I get into all this stuff, my thoughts on crypto and penny stocks and all this. But we do have an emerging product at InvestView in the Kuvera division where retail people can start to get involved in cryptocurrency, where they can buy mining machines. It's a simple piece of equipment. And it winds up turning a serious yield. And you can be involved in that new economy, but not have to get yourself too deep. So
you bet. And for newbies, I mean, that's why I say, I've been telling people, you can look at my shows going back 2 years. Mining is a way to get into this where you're not having to really worry about all that volatility and all that stuff. So, yeah.
Thanks. Hey, Frankie, any last questions for Drew? Because, you know, when we get him here, we got to drain him for all the info he's got.
You're just going to have to come back a little more often than you've been.
So, Frankie, we had on Kiana Danielle, the author of Cryptocurrency Investing for Dummies. And when she was here, she was getting like she's really a wizard on this stuff. So I had coined Frankie as our in-house crypto dummy because he didn't know anything about it, but he's learning. Have you learned or what?
I've learned enough to invest in Kuvera.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Full disclosure, I'm an officer of Kuvera. I am a large shareholder in Kuvera, and I am not soliciting you to buy any stock in the company. You should educate yourself, make yourself aware, make sure it's suitable for you, and if so, call a professional advisor. But Drew Taylor, I want to thank you so much for coming up here, giving us the insights from the Wild, Wild West. You got to tune into the Wild West Crypto Show on YouTube and other places, and the radio show. These guys are taking the world by storm, and I've rarely in life been the guy who wears the cowboy hat. Well, my friend here comes to the studio, I put on the 10-gallon because I love him and respect him. Just like I do you, our audience, our favorite, our fans, our customers. You stay right there. We're going to come back right after this with Jocko Willink.